Is this doing? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Do not mind the hair. I again had to spray it to kind of get my curls back. So it is like air drying right now. And I thought today I would talk about my weight loss right now with phentermine and then kind of do like a life update because they kind of go like hand in hand. And so this is round, I think, 3 for me with phentermine. I started, okay, so if you don't know my journey, first of all, I started with phentermine back in February of 2023 and lost like 58 pounds. Stopped in December of 2023, then went back on it, and it was a struggle. And I won't lie, I was in the overweight category at that point. And then since I went back in my charts that I basically made for myself, which were spreadsheets, since April of this year, I believe is where I started. I'm going to check this just to make sure I tell you guys correctly. Um, go in here. Okay, really, since like January to October when I started, I gained like 20 pounds ish back. And so then I got on it again, and here we are. I'm so sorry. This one strand is really like bugging me. This is what bothers me about like having curls, especially like recurling it. Is because I have layers and then they really pop out when I have to like make them bounce out again. So yeah. So yeah, literally since like January ish till now, I gained like 20 some pounds. Um, but I think really when I look, I basically maintained like 142, honestly. Yeah, like 142, 144. Yeah, 142, 144. And then until now, got into like 161, I think is what I was when I started October 7th. I'm slightly mad at myself because I did not weigh myself before going to the doctor. So I don't know what my actual starting weight was when I started. I was 165 at the doctor, but the doctor tends to add like 3 pounds. However, because it's fall, I don't know if I was wearing anything like heavier. Um, so I want to say I was probably like 162. So that's what I was going off of. Went back from the last time I weighed myself, and I would say probably gained like a pound back. Gained a pound, and then yeah. So I'm taking a guess that on October 7th I was like 162, and so yeah. Um, sorry, I am all over the place. I literally went through yesterday to try and like hone down numbers, and so yeah. So overall, from literally like moving here to now, I gained like 20 pounds, and I'm guessing starting weight in October was 162. And so now I have lost about 3 or 4 pounds since then. And yeah, if you want to be technical, I would say it's probably been like 4 pounds. When I went to the doctor on Tuesday, it showed a 3 pound loss, which that's really good. And I know I was in a sweater, so I mean that's typical. Because because obviously with it being colder, you're going to wear something a little bit warmer. I did purposely wear like my black flats as well. I was like, I don't care how cold it is. I need it to show like a decent amount of weight loss. So, yeah. Uh, and so that's kind of where I've been. The scale this week really hasn't moved, but unfortunately, this is kind of TMI, I always end up getting an infection like soon after starting. And then unfortunately, because of like the kind of antibiotic I was on, I ended up with another infection. And so now I've been like working to obviously get rid of that. So, yeah. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that. What I'm trying to do, I'm working with a dietitian this time around, and I'm trying to up my calories and do like smaller meals throughout the day. However, this is really challenging because of what I do for a living. I am on the go and basically live out in my car for like 8 hours of the day. Um, and so to like get snacks in is really hard. I told my dietitian, like, because of this medication, because yes, I'm still on Toppermate as well. Um, Force eating is very much a thing. And so it's very hard to like have a client drop them off and then have a little something. And yeah, and I think a lot of it's like a mental challenge too, because then like time efficiency of like, okay, well, this client needs to get this, and this done. If I have them now, if they're able to meet, like I'm gonna go get them and try and get that done. So that's a struggle, and also just like trying to get protein in. And so, yeah, but I'm pretty impressed with how like quickly things have been coming off. I'm just really hoping that like now it doesn't like plateau, because I've seen that happen before in the past where it's like really it was like 3 pounds of weight loss comes off, and then it plateaus for a while. So I'm really hoping that's not the case, especially because I am like BMI wise in the obese category. And so I think because I'm definitely like heavier this time around, I'm hoping that things just kind of keep going. And so, yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what happens this week, since it will be, again, little TMI, that time of the month for me, what happens as well. So that's kind of everything with the weight loss. I see my doctor again for the actual like follow up with the weight loss in January. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think what I need to do though is I need to switch dietitians, because I looked and it was freaking expensive to see my dietitian that my friend recommended. So sorry, guys. Um, it was like $400 for the initial uh, consultation or whatever, and then it was like 300 for the next appointment. So if I want to keep seeing a dietitian, I need to make sure they are like in network, because I see her weekly and there's no way that I can afford that weekly. Um, and then yeah, so I might end up having to like break up with her this week, which is so sad because I love her so much. But yeah, and then maybe like go back with her if I actually end up going on to like my works insurance, because I don't have my work insurance, because I was pretty sure it was the same as the insurance I already have. Clearly it's not, because my dietitian would have been covered by my insurance. Um and yeah. So that's kind of all of that in a nutshell. Um One of the hardest things too is like getting enough water in like during the workday, because when you're basically living out in your car, um and you're go go go, you're not really drinking a lot of water, because sometimes you don't know where your next client needs to go, and finding a bathroom can be like really hard. I literally went Friday, I GPSed a gas station. It was a little dinky gas station, and I could have just gone to a different one, but I went to this like dinky gas station. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna use the restroom there. So I ended up going all the way back to the office and then having to go get my client. And so, um, yeah, that was kind of a struggle. So, and that kind of brings me to the life update, which is like life has just been really, really stressful lately. And I'm trying to kind of look at my work schedule and kind of figure out like what I can do to make it easier on me. I got to be really careful with what I say because I can't say much obviously regarding clients or anything, but I have one of the biggest caseloads right now. And so at least like on our side, and I think what's been really like stressing me out from what I kind of reflected on yesterday is the fact that like I don't get a lot of downtime. Um, I I really don't get a lot of time to like talk to my supervisors face to face if anything comes up, because there are certain things that cannot be said through email. And literally, what happened Friday was I had someone from 8 a.m. till basically 12:30, and then my 12:30 client showed up, and I had her until 2:30 basically, and had to take that other person um, back home because there was some miscommunication um, happening. And so, which was completely fine, but I was just like, oh my gosh, like I just, there's no break. And so, I feel like I just don't have time to, talk to my supervisors if needed, don't have time to get my like administrative work done, but I'm going to figure all that out hopefully today and see if I need to talk with my supervisors about it. Um, I probably will, honestly, and I'll talk to my therapist about all this tomorrow and see what needs to get done because I just cannot keep going like this because again, like the stress isn't good for, weight loss either. Um, and it's not really good to be also like sitting out in your car for 8 hours of the day either. Like it's the same as like, being in the office and sitting at your desk for 8 hours. At least when you're in the office, you get the choice of like, getting up and stretching, going on walks, um, and it's easier again to like have, little snacks as well. And again, like your honestly, like your basic human needs are not neglected as much where when you're on the go, it's very easy to like neglect them. And so, yeah, I will definitely be reflecting on that today as the day goes on and see what needs to be adjusted because, you know, I'm human. We're all human. We're not machines. And so we need to make sure like we're balancing everything well while also taking care of ourselves. And luckily, they're very good at hearing us out when it comes to that stuff. And so, yeah, um, especially this week, it's just a little bit crazier because I have a little bit extra going on as well. Um, and I told my therapist last week, like, it's a little crazy to think that, like, I know, like, I have my work schedule memorized, but I don't know, like, what's going on in my personal life. Like, I don't have that memorized ever. And that's like a little bit concerning. The fact that I have to schedule things around work and I have that memorized, but as far as like personal life goes, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Um, is a little bit like mixed up to me. Like, shouldn't it be the other way around? I don't know. Um, So yeah. So that kind of what's been going on. Dance has been great. Love that. Love going to dance. Um, there's also some issues with like work and dance, I feel like, just because of the client who I have before that, just how that scheduling is. But um, can't talk about that here right now or ever. But again, like maybe that'll be brought up as well. But yeah, so I'm trying to see like what else is going on. But yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I think the stress is really kind of playing into the weight loss because not only is like the stress of like work playing into it, kind of the stress of like, my health is kind of playing into it because I'm also kind of tuning into like, okay, I know like I've been down this road before. Like if I get burnt out, if I'm overworking, whatever, I know that's going to catch up with my body and that's not going to be good for the weight loss. And I know my like health is going to pay for it. So I'm trying to be very, very like mindful of that. And so like, yeah. And I know like with these recent infections, that's not totally like my fault. um, the antibiotics caused this last one. So I'm like, yep, that's not really my fault. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to be mindful of like everything. And so yeah, and I'm trying to figure out, oh, that was the other thing. I'm trying to figure out like when to take time off to go back home to Williston. The problem is it's a 5-hour drive and the holidays are coming up and the issue is like, do I drive? Do I fly and land um, somewhere that is then like an hour away from where I need to be and then just have my parents pick me up? Um, right now, I only have like 2 days of PTO. And so, yeah, because the other like stressor is like winter. And I think my parents' like anxiety and worry about like the roads has definitely like worn off on me. And yeah. And so, yeah, anytime I travel back home, I'm like, I need at least 2 days to travel. Um, and then in a perfect world, I would like another day off because of just like jet lag and the fact that there is a time difference because they're an hour ahead of us. And so, yeah, I'm trying to figure that out because it's already the end of October and I need to like book my ticket and try and like get back home essentially. So there's that whole like stressor in life as well. And I also thought about like going back in like a couple weeks as well just to actually get like days off and go when like it's not going to be crappy. Um and just also thinking about like, okay, how much does it matter to me to go up like during Christmas? Because one of the weird things is like, okay, my parents are teachers, so they get like a lot of weeks off with their job. Um, but we only get Christmas off, like Christmas Day off. We obviously don't get like, we don't even get Christmas Eve off. So I'm like, crap, like what do I do in this instance? But I feel like I would still take off anyways. And then there might be a switch going on as well. during like in December as well with my job. So I don't know. I'm all over the place, you guys. So that's kind of all what's going on. Life is just stressful, which I feel like it always kind of gets a little stressful, like approaching the holidays. And then the weight loss right now is going good so far. I feel like I am better at like smaller meals like throughout the day on the weekends because it's easier. And then I hope that like it doesn't plateau right now, but I'm definitely trying to like control the stress, figure all that out. I think I will also text my mom this weekend and see like what she thinks. And then yeah, just kind of take it one day at a time. So if you guys are like stressed out and in the same boat as me, don't worry, I'm right there with you. Just take it one day at a time. Do some meditation, drink some water, breathe, exercise. Usually I don't exercise on the weekends, but I think I need to just for like my mental state of mind. Um, and yeah, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like, hit the thumbs up button. If you are in the same boat, also give it a thumbs up. You are not alone by any means. Life is just kind of a lot at the moment. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Um, Hopefully, things are on the uphill over here. And yeah, thank you so much for just sticking in there, you guys. And I will see you all later. Bye.